it was a fan, man. That was like, it's a fan that watches the show regularly, and he was like, man, wow, that's a great story, great perspective. And he said he would love to hear a football perspective on what four quarters look like and what you guys go through. So share with the people a story or let them know how four quarters is and how rough it is, bro.
Man, fourth quarter is rough. Like when
Yeah.
I mean rougher than the rough is just rough. I mean, it's like you never really can get
First of
prepared
all,
for
first of
it.
all, for the people out there, when he said when it's rough, it's rougher than rough. Like, let's let y'all know it's rough. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Rodney Cooper. I'm the host of Locker Room Talk with Coop. I got another great guest that's coming in for you guys. I got my guy, my brother, Ronnie Clark. Played at the University of Alabama from 2014 to 2018. And coming out of high school, he was the number 3 athlete in the country by routes.com. And he was also an Under Armour All-American. During his time at Bama, he was a 2-time national champion. And me and Ronnie, man, we had a great conversation. We talked about his story. We talked about advice to the youth. And also we talked about some adversity he had to overcome up until this point as far as him at times having to provide for his family, as well as him overcoming 2 Achilles injuries. And also, man, me and Ronnie, we gave some funny stories as far as some funny Saban stories and also some funny stories he had with his teammates as well. So you guys definitely go and enjoy it. And guys, make sure that you guys like, comment, share this video with somebody you think will enjoy it. And also hit that red button that says subscribe for your boy if you're enjoying the show. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. So check it out. So we got my bro, Ronnie Clark, on the show. What's up, bro? Welcome to the show.
What's up, man? How you doing, bro? Thank you for
I'm
having me.
good. Oh yes, sir, for sure, for sure. So let's jump right into it, man. So let the people know your story. Being a kid from Monroe, Louisiana. I know on Bama they got you from Calera, but and playing ball at Calera High School up until the point you decided to play for the University of Alabama.
Man, my experience, man, was great. Just
Mm.
all the stuff that I had to do and endure during the time with me transitioning from Louisiana to Alabama, man, it
Mm.
was a great transition. We moved right after Katrina,
Okay.
when Katrina hit, but we was in northern Louisiana, so we didn't really get
Mm.
number but a bunch of rain. But at the
Yeah.
same time, my mom's job, State Farm, transferred out here, and that's
Mm.
what brought us out here to Alabama, man. But ever since then, it's been been going up on an uphill, man. So just
I got
my transition there was great. And then just playing ball at Calera, man, and representing Calera for a good time. I brought a lot of publicity there.
you. Mm.
Brought a lot of people that normally wouldn't come, and made the town kind of come alive a little bit.
Right.
But it's always great, man. To always go back and give back to those guys there. So
For sure.
it was a good transition for me.
I got you. And it's crazy, man. You say you from North Louisiana. You ain't got that accent, bro. I guess you've been in
Yeah, look,
Bama
I
too
guess.
long. I guess.
Look, I guess I've been out here too long, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
Right.
I
Right.
was out there when I was like in about fourth grade. So
Okay.
when I moved at about fourth, fifth grade, it came out here. So I was still young. What I'm saying, when we was getting ready to move. But I guess it kind of left me a little bit.
Right. I got you. I
Exactly.
got you.
Yeah.
So who was the person that put the football in your hands, or was it just the sport you gravitated to? Because I was doing some research. I seen you had hooped a little bit too, though. So.
Oh man, see, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I was that deal on the court.
All right,
I
here we
was
go. Here
that
go
deal on
another
the court.
football guy.
I
Here go
wanted
another.
look when you was playing, man. I wanted
Okay.
to come out there to practice a couple of times when you and Levi
Mm.
was there. But I actually played with the Alabama Challenge, man, coming out of
Oh,
high
for
school.
real? Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
I played with Levi. I played with Craig Sword, Jeremy
Yep.
Johnson.
Yep.
It was Devin Booker was on the team as
Okay. Yep.
well. We
Yep.
had a bunch of guys, man. Josh Lancaster went to Michigan State.
Hey. Yep.
So it was a bunch of guys that we played with, man. But I was a hooper. But when I got to Alabama was when I first really picked up the football.
Mm.
We moved out here. I wanted to get into something that wasn't really anything to do but wrestling and karate. So I missed all
Yeah.
the sign-ups, man. But I was like, Mom, I ain't doing no karate, man. So
Right.
I
Hey,
finally
bro.
went out there
Hey, I
and
don't mean to
decided.
cut you off, but when I was younger, I went to a karate class and I seen this guy. It was his son, bro. He picked him up and
Exactly.
dropped him like on his head and told him to get up. I told my moms, I said, I ain't coming back to this. I said, nah, if he doing that to his
Exactly.
family, what he gonna do to me? Nah, I'm good. I'm straight.
Exactly. You don't know what he'll do, man. So I had to
Right.
stay away from that karate, bro. That was
Right.
not me. But man, I moved down here and they took me up there. They got me registered for football, and I remember they didn't give me any pants. I was in pretty much shells when I first started practice. And I
Wow.
had the little one bar that was crossfades and like that.
Yeah.
So man, I was pretty much bigger than a lot of the kids and a little bit faster. And
Mm.
all I knew was just to go fast, man. So when I
Mm.
started playing, I also had bifocals on, the little goggles. So
Uh,
I got the little name, like I ran like Eric Dickerson back in the day.
yeah, yeah,
And then wore the
yeah.
goggles at SMU and stuff. So
Yeah.
I had a bunch of names, but when I started playing as a little man, it kind of just gravitated to me. And
Okay.
football became one of my things I can do.
Okay, got you, got you. So, who was the person or group of people that inspired you to be great growing up? Because you put up a lot of stats in high school. So, who's those group of people that made the impact in your life growing up?
Man, just my mom is a big inspiration to me, man. My mom
Mm,
and my family, man, they are always there for me.
right.
And like I said, every time I stepped out there, I just felt like I had to do what I had to do. And I mean, I'm a
Thanks.
competitor, bro. So it don't matter who on the court. Like you can
Right.
be the best guy it is. I'm better than you. And I
You wanted
mean,
all the smoke. Right. Yeah.
exactly. That's
right.
the type of mentality you gotta have, man, when you playing this sport. Either sport, basketball, football, baseball, it don't matter. You gotta
Right.
have a certain demeanor about going out there to get what's done.
Right.
So my mom, my dad, and I had a couple of coaches, man. Eddie Posey was one of the guys that kind of started me playing football.
Okay.
Kind of wanted me to come out there because I actually played baseball too before I played football. So
What
I played a
position?
little thing of baseball. I played shortstop and
So,
pitch.
okay. Okay.
I pitched one game, struck out 2 people, and the rest was history. I ain't
North-
play pitching no more, man. I was
yeah.
out there in the infield picking up weeds and trying to find a 4-leaf clover, all those type of things. So I had to get out of
Yeah.
baseball. It was slow for me.
yeah.
So, but yeah, man. But I had a lot of influential people to kind of get me started and keep the ball in my hand. And as they did
Mm.
that, man, I just started getting better and better. And then, like I said, I was a competitor. I just wanted to be the best out of all the little kids, man. So just me wanting to be that competitive nature and that tough love my dad showed me growing up playing
Mm.
basketball, always being hard on me, pushing me to where I need to be. So,
Right.
I could just say, man, my family and my coaches, man, what really pushed me to be where I'm at.
Dope. And I could definitely understand where you come from as far with your pops being hard on you with sports.
Oh, yeah.
Cause bro, it was a game I had 53 points and I sat out the last 4 minutes. My pop said I should have had like 65 based off some shots I missed.
Exactly. Yeah,
It just
exactly.
always been like that. He would
And it's
never let me
always
get to
been
the
like
point
that.
to where I felt like, well, as far as to get complacent, he always wanted me to get to that next level. And I still apply that to my life now because a lot of people wonder why we're wired the way that we wired, and it's come from that competitive edge from sports. So I definitely
Exactly.
I tell every parent, I feel like every child should play some type of sport growing up.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in this day and time, because all they got is phone now. So
Exactly, man. And that's all they got. And they love that technology. But like I say, if you get a kid, man, playing sports, and it's so much you can learn from that because you're being with a group of a team. And regardless of what you do in the world, man, you got to have your group. You got to have you some brothers around you or,
facts.
whatever team you own. So, you have to be able to, know how to do that level, man, and being on the team. So I think playing sports in general, man, really helps out later on in life because you learn a lot and you learn to go through the struggle. And
Facts.
when you go through that struggle, you always end up on the positive side of things at the
Right.
end. So
It show a
that's
lot
what it
about
is.
yourself, man. They say
Exactly.
adversity builds character. So
Oh,
man, with
definitely.
everything you accomplished, bro, all the accolades in high school, I was looking at your numbers, you play quarterback. I'm like, you doing everything out there. And
Exactly, man. They threw me around a little bit in high school, man. My first game, I actually started playing in the 8th grade.
okay.
Our high school and middle school was kind of combined, so I was able to make all the practices, and it wasn't going to be an issue, so they let me play the varsity level. And I remember starting my first game, man.
Playing
Coach
varsity
Greg.
in the 8th grade?
Yeah, man, 8th
Okay.
grade,
Talk
man.
your talk then.
So
Okay, go ahead. Okay, I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Started playing football varsity in 8th grade, man, and
Mm.
I can't remember. I remember like it was yesterday. We were playing high school actually out here in Tuscaloosa,
Yeah.
and I was playing a corner, and I came up and got stiff on. Like the first time I got out there, stiff on threw me to
Yeah.
the sideline. And then the next time I got out there, my coach was like, "You better not let that happen again, because you never let that happen in practice."
yeah.
So ever since then, man, I actually once I got that first feel, it just kind of triggered with me, and I just went from there. And I just
Mm.
started throwing my body around, really didn't care as much, man. Just started playing hard. And then when I did that, I understood that, hey, I'm going to always be okay. Just got to make sure
Right.
you play hard and compete, regardless of what it does. So I
Mm.
started there, played a bunch of high school ball, man. So I seen a lot, man, for 5 years of high school, then ended up playing 5 years of college, too, as well.
Mm.
So I seen a lot of ball, man.
Right. And then also just looking at, some of the stats you got, as far as being a 4-star by Rouse, being an Under Armour All-American, being a #3 athlete by Rouse.com. What were some other things, that drove you growing up, especially with all these stats? I know you said your pops, always pushed you. Your
Yeah.
mom was your inspiration. So what were some other things that drove you growing up?
Well, another thing I know, one big thing, man, was that a lot of people didn't think I would be able to play at the SEC level, or because I was so rangy in the positions I can play a lot, and they thought that was
Right,
gonna really hurt me going into wherever I went. But
right,
it was always me to try to prove, kind of prove the doubters wrong, man. At the end of the day, you don't really think about it as much, but I know people do want to prove people wrong that talk a lot of
facts.
trash. So,
Yeah.
that's just another motivational factor in the piece, man, that kind of kept me drove and driven,
Mm.
to do what I did. So, I'm happy, man, about the high school career I had. I can't take nothing back from it, man. It was
Mm.
all awesome. Met a lot of people, and met a lot of players too, man.
Right, right. For sure. And just like we talk about, it's definitely that brotherhood. And just like what we're saying now, as far as especially with you being a high school coach now, and then just in business, everything, like you got to have that team component. And sports show you a
Oh
lot
yeah,
about that. Especially like, you're going through like the trial and tribulation throughout the season, stuff like that. And you got your brothers with you, throughout that whole time. And you got your coach, leading the tribe. Like it does something different, just something different about, athletes because we done been through everything, having to deal with
exactly,
the media, having to grow up quick. Because, once we
exactly.
go from, the towns that we come from and go like to Alabama, all these different, Division I schools, it's funny, like a lot of people, they say like, man, how could you have done that? But, he an 18, 19-year-old kid. I'm like, what you did when you was 18 or 19? The
Exactly.
only difference is that
Exactly.
he's in the spotlight and you wasn't. So, I mean,
Yeah.
we have to grow up quick, like once we get into that world. And it just crazy, man. It teach you a lot. That's why I definitely, can relate to, when I see like people that run company, they so similar to athletes because they so driven the same way. So just like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these guys, once you make that transition, like it's the same principle, it's just a different game. You just got to figure out
Exactly.
you just got to figure out that skill set. So
And then and
go ahead.
it's about like stepping out, man, and not being scared to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Being bold, stepping out in that water, knowing that it's going to be deep, but at the same time, that's what you want. You don't want
Facts.
anything that's going to be handed to you easy, man. And I think, like you said, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, for sure. So you being a high school coach now, man, being at Brookwood High School, and you know what it takes to play. You know what it takes to play at the highest level. What advice would you give to the kids as far as the things they need to do to be seen by these college coaches?
Oh man, it's all about the little things, man. I know that's what I
Mm,
preach on about. That's what I got preached on about. The little things and the consistency that you can have
mm,
over time to make sure that you're able to do what you do. I know at Alabama, man, you look at so many plays, you look at so many, coverages, offensive plays, offensive calls, and
right.
you look at it so many times throughout the day before you actually take that one practice rep.
Mm,
And what it tells coaches is that, man, if you're not understanding it, after all those times you have looked at it, that just
right.
means you're not really consistent in your work and you're not consistent in your game of level of playing and thinking so you can play faster for the game. So,
Right.
I'm always about the consistency of what you do. And because I think that goes a long way in order for you to showcase what you have on the field and on the court, whatever it may be.
Right.
But kids these days, man, they just own the internet. They just own technology. That's all
Microwave
they want to
society.
do. Exactly, man. Exactly. I mean, it's a cool thing, but they don't really take. A lot of kids don't really take into the advantage that it has and what they
Facts.
can really do with it, instead of just almost harnessing their reputation at some point in some time. So
Mm,
I think just as a me playing high school ball, being successful as I did, just the consistency. I always wanted to put in the work. Always showing your great character everywhere you go. Being respectful, giving respect when it needs to be given. Honor those before you. And
Facts.
and just kind of be that leader and not be a follower, man. Stand out and do your thing and get people to come with you and make people uncomfortable and get them in comfortable situations while they're being uncomfortable. So
Mm.
I think all those things, man, in high school can get you to that level because that's what the college coach is going to look at. Just straight consistency in what you're doing and how you do it and how well you do it.
Facts. Because like you were just
Exactly.
saying with that consistency, man, that compound effect. Over time, if you continuously put the work in and day out, the results go show. But you got to be consistent
Exactly.
day in and day out. And then just like what you were
Yeah.
saying, as far as just being a leader, not following the crowd, man. If you be you long enough, you gonna have people gravitate towards you because you being yourself, you being
Exactly.
authentic. But if you trying to be something that you're not, like yeah, you might have a crowd around you, but it's gonna be the wrong crowd. And over time, they go see you not being you being fake.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you be
Yeah.
authentic, if you be your authentic self, people go gravitate towards you. So just being yourself is more than enough. So
Exactly, man. Exactly.
right,
That's a great way to be, and that's a great way to get people to follow you, man. And then, like I say, with the people that's following you, you have to always continue to show them the way. You have to be
facts,
that leader and understand that pressure is on you to make sure that you lead those guys. You know, and the one thing I tell kids, man, is this while I'm teaching, and I know it's a big thing, is that, you know, hey, in this generation, if I don't teach you the stuff and get you prepared for your life, what are you gonna do when you get ready to equip my kid, or whenever my kid comes into the world, or if you
facts,
become a teacher, however it may be? So if
right,
I'm not giving you the game here, what makes you think you're gonna be able to give my son a game or my daughter a game whenever that happens? So, you know, it's always about a generational curve at the end and how well you can spread that, you know, knowledge to these kids, man, in order for them to help the next generation, because that's what I think it's all about, especially, you know, in our society today.
And basically, what you just said, bro, is to pay it forward.
Yeah.
That basically what you're saying. So that's dope, bro. So with everything in high school, you know, all the stats that you put up, what was the biggest challenge for you making that transition from high school to college? Because I know that's a big jump going from, you know, Kalira to, you know, the GOAT Coach Saban. So what was the biggest
Oh,
challenge for you?
man, the biggest thing, I remember like it was yesterday. After the first week, I called my mom. It's like, hey, mama, hey, I don't know if I'm going
This
to be
ain't
able to
for
do
me,
this.
right? This ain't for
Hey,
me.
hey, this ain't for me. She's
Facts.
like, nah. She's like, nah, baby, you there now. You win it. You got to do it.
Right, right,
So, you
right,
know,
right.
the biggest transition, man, was that coming from Kalir, you was the big guy. You know, everybody was around you. Everybody loved on you. You was that guy. And when
Right.
you get to Alabama, it's a bunch of those that guys. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? It's a bunch of guys that have been doing the same stuff you doing.
Right.
And like I said, the consistency, man, is what's going to separate everybody being those type of guys and being a great player instead of a good player. So,
Right.
you know, that was probably the biggest transition, trying to understand, hey, it's a lot of guys out here with a lot of talent that, you know, got more talent than me as well. But how
Facts.
am I going to be able to compete to the level
To
of their
separate yourself.
expectations for the coaches, you know, and then us all buying together? So that's one big piece, because you got 5 stars coming from everywhere, from different positions. They want to be number one. They want the ball coming to them. So,
Right.
you know, just being able to get into that function, understanding that, hey, I'm coming from a small town, small school, but also understanding that, hey, it's guys just like me doing the same thing that I'm doing. So it's
Facts.
about the consistency of it, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Because like I can only imagine how the practices is as far as like across the board is 5-star, 4-star guys, and like you got an NFL player like in front of you every day, so it's different, bro. I can only imagine. Then on top of that, like I said with
Oh,
Coach
man.
Scott, bro, I said then the Heat don't make it no better.
Man, the Heat don't make it no better. I used to hate when Saban would be in a whole individual period. We had about 3 of them. And then, I
Yeah,
mean, if we messed it up, man, he'll blow that horn. We'll be right back to flex. And you'll be out there all day until you get it done.
yeah.
So, you know, just the expectation that he had for us, man, and what made us grow and get better. Because, like I
Mm,
say, we made the practices so hard that the games became
easy.
easy.
Right.
And,
Facts.
and, and, and that's what you really want to get out of it, man. You want to be able to make those practices hard, even if it was scout team, first offense, second team,
Mm,
third team. It didn't matter what it was. We all had to
right.
be one apart, because he'll get on the scout team just as hard as he would on the first defense. So, you know,
Facts.
it's just a whole big thing, man. It was a big culture that we had.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely dope to see it because, like I said, like you gotta really understand the vision that he has for all you guys. As far as like you come from high school being that guy, and then you have to come to Bama, and you have to go through that process. Like you
Oh,
probably got to sit down that first year or two, but you know,
yeah.
like when your time
Exactly.
comes, you need to be ready for that moment. And then you never know when
Exactly.
it's coming. Somebody can get injured. So, you know, you never know what can happen. So you always gotta stay prepared. So that's why I say it's dope. You know, seeing you guys as far as like believing in Saban vision and like it shows, man. The results show. So
Oh, yeah, definitely.
yeah, so I heard from, you know, the guys that I done had on here as far as, you know, the things they just said about Saban, they just spoke highly of him. As far as, you know, just as far with me, like what I was talking about Saban, just looking from afar, the things that stood out to me is his attention to detail and the standard he not only held you guys to, but himself as well. So what were some lessons that you learned from Saban that you apply now in life and, you know, as far as being a high school coach now?
Just one of the things I can really take away from him, man, is just how motivational he was about his work,
Mm.
how inspirational, how passionate he was about winning football games and about being the best.
Yeah.
He just knew. He always taught us, if you can control what control, it's really never about the other team. It's how well you prepare, how well
Mm.
you can go through the process long enough and be almost not perfect, but till you practice it right, till you don't get it wrong anymore.
Right.
It'll turn second nature. And that's one of the things I pulled from him is just his passion for the game, and it made my passion grow even more. Just because I saw how he was able to, get us all around and get us to one goal. And I mean, it's all exciting because you get guys from different nationalities all over the world, man, that come to this place. And Tuscaloosa not a big city, man.
Facts.
It ain't bigger than Houston,
Yeah,
it ain't
right.
bigger than Miami, man. But I'm letting you know T-Town is popping because of the university, man. And
Right.
with all that being said, you have to get all these nationalities, all these egos together, and he does a great job of it, of getting some of the best guys to come in, play together, gel together. And that's what you can learn and you can take to the high school level from what I did, man. I tell all type of stories to my guys. They love to hear them, but I just tell those experiences just because I know what it really takes, man. And I know how it takes to get there and win that championship. You have to be in the grind mode, and it's grind. And you got to put your head down and put your foot to the metal, man, and keep going.
Right.
But, that's one of the things I learned from him, man. Just the passionate that he had, the passion that he had about the game, and how much he loved it, and it rubbed off on me because I still love to do it because that's why I'm coaching today.
Right, and it's funny, like with these coaching, man, I be talking about all the time as far as like when they understand the psychology of the players and stuff like that, when your players can trust you, they'll run through a wall for you. And then it's crazy as we get older, we'll start saying things that our coaches have said to us as from a kid growing up. We'll say some of those things, and we're like, dang, like, coach, you say that to me. It's crazy, right? Yeah, it's crazy.
I hear some of my talks now when we at practice. I be saying some of the same stuff, but it's just because it's almost kind of ingrained in you now, man, because you heard it for so long, but you actually know that the process works. And you actually know you got some concrete proof behind it to know what you're talking about and what you're saying and what you're repeating, it actually works. So I think that's one of the main reasons why a lot of guys say some of the same stuff, and we all kind of sound the same when we talk about Saban because, I mean, that's what he did for us. Exactly.
I was just about to say, for the people that's going to be watching, the kids that going to be watching, this the next guy that says something about the process. It seems like he got y'all turned to robots. All of y'all talk about the same thing when it comes to the process. Y'all say the same thing. It's dope, though.
It's like you said, man, it's a process in anything that you do, though. So, if you start the process, however you break it down and you be consistent, whatever throughout your process, man, I'm telling you, it's literally going to work. But you have to stay with it, have the faith, and just keep going and just understand that there's going to be bumps and bruises. You're going to go up here, you're going to get knocked down a little bit, but you got to keep climbing back up to get there. So, I know a lot of people say we sound like robots, but it's the truth. The process really does work. You just got to get in it.
Right. And facts. And the thing about success, man, people, especially in this day and time, they shoot these people these dreams and stuff like that. But success is definitely not a straight line. You're going to have ups and downs, trials and tribulations. You're going to have bumps and bruises, but you just got to keep going and stay consistent. Like, it's simple, but it's not easy. And, like, people don't want to hear that, but that's just what it is. you got to take it for what it is. So,
a lot of people don't like to look themselves in the mirror, man. That's all that be. That's all it is.
They don't like holding themselves accountable either. But But since you was talking about stories as far as what you telling your players, so what's a funny Saban story that you can share with the people that the fans don't know about? Because I didn't heard it all. Bo Scarborough, he was talking about how Coach Saban talking about like you can't let the other team piss on your grass. Donnie Lee Jr., he was talking about how he thought Coach Saban called him in for a meeting. He thought he was gonna talk about how great he's been doing in practice. But Saban was checking him on his grades, and he said, "Do I need to call Miss Lee? Do I need to call your mom on you?" He was like, "Dad, you gonna call my Dukes on me?" And Christian Jones, man, he was talking about, I can't remember what year, but the next championship you guys had won. He was saying it was 2 days late. It wasn't even less than 48 hours. They was like the team was in the meeting. Coach Saban got pissed off and said, "This is not last year's national championship." And I'm like, "Dang, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy."
Exactly, man.
So what's a funny Saban story that you can share with the people?
One of the funny, it's a couple stories, man. Like I said, we had a bunch of them, but one I can think off the top of my head is when we was in good, bad, and ugly. All right, on a Monday or Sunday.
Y'all was what? What you said? Y'all was what?
We was in the team film room.
Okay.
We was watching the good, bad, and the ugly.
Okay, yeah.
And we had just played Tennessee the week before on that Saturday. And that's the one when Bo Scarborough broke it for like 90 yards.
Right.
All right. So we sitting in the meeting, man, and then me and Bo sat right beside each other. He like, running man. Hey, I bet he put my play up. I bet he put my play up. I'm like, man, nah, boy. He like, and then he just kept sliding down in his seat, just getting real low.
Yeah.
So finally his play comes up, and during the end of that thing, Bo had scored a touchdown, but he was in so full of emotion. His eyes was big, and what he did at the end is he put his hand, the Alabama 8, in the little kid's face in Tennessee.
Wow.
And Coach Saban, when I mean rip him to pieces, when I say rip him to pieces in there, you know, just to hear him just all of a sudden just get mad and have, you know, use some type of humor, because everybody think he's not, you know, a funny guy, he's not all of that, but just to see him use that humor, it was like, hey, Bo, man, we don't do this, man. We never do this. You just probably killed that kid's dream of playing football by putting his hand in his face.
Yeah.
So, you know, just all type of stuff that he used to do, man, and get on to us. I remember when Ruben in the 8A game in the good, bad, and ugly, he hit David one time. And he came up and he threw up his Q-Dog sign or whatever like that, man. And Dave was like, this ain't no damn fraternity. So, you know, just hearing him, like, get up and get kind of mad and pissed off at times, man, it's crazy, man. I could tell you another one with Mac Jones when we was on scout team. Back with Mac, you know, in the early his career when he first got there, Mac was dropping dimes on the defense that day. You know, just dropping dimes. And his thing was always boom. You know, every time we did it, boom, he always yelled boom. But the competitive nature was there. And how I knew kind of, you know, that Saban was liking Mac, man, is when Saban asked Mac to throw the ball, you know, to a position he wanted. He was like, nah, coach, I'm throwing touchdowns, man. And, you know, not a lot of people just talk back to Saban.
Yeah, right.
Side remarks or whatever. But, man, when he said that and Saban looked over at him and didn't say that, I said, oh, yeah, he liked him.
Yeah, right.
He like that competitive nature. He wants somebody to challenge him back, man, and show that intensity just like he has.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's countless of stories, man. It's countless of stories. Like I said, we made practices hard. We used to fight at practice all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think
I know.
Really
I know. When y'all come over to Brian, man, I heard the stories, bro. I said when we was at Brian, like we come in eat at Brian or whatever, I heard the stories, bro. And speaking of you know, Saban talking about challenging him and, you know, the competitive edge and stuff like that, man, Bo talked about in the last episode, man. Bo was talking crazy. Bo said y'all was in practice and he said, hey coach, he said they holding. And coach said he said they holding, coach, they holding. And Coach Saban said, hey Bo. And Bo said, what's up, coach? He said, hold this.
He always used to be that little symbol, man. He always used to tell us we were playing like a bunch of women, man. And, you know, some other funny stuff too. You know, just me and Bo being in the running back room. You know, it was Bo, Josh Jacobs, Damian. We had some few more guys in there, man. Derek Gore was in there for a little bit too.
Yeah.
Coach Burns, man, he used to be some of the highlight of the day, highlight of the room, just because he was just always funny, always energetic, but he kept it real and he kept it in reality. And if a week went by or a game went by and we didn't do good at practice and we was running soft and he was mad as hell at us or whatever, we'll come in the meeting room and he'll have a whole 6-pack or a 2-pack of Charmin and some tissue sitting on the desk. I'm like, dang, coach, you know, thank you for this tissue. You know, I go wipe my ass with this. You know?
Right.
He's like, no, y'all being soft, man. That's for y'all being soft this week.
Yeah.
Take that tissue and just know that you a soft dude, man. You a soft dude.
Yeah.
So, you know, he used to be funny like that. He'll put marshmallows on our desk, man. You know what I'm saying? Telling us that we soft and stuff. So, you know, just, you know, to have that feel with those guys. I mean, I'm saying all that stuff that he did just made us want to compete, made us want to just get better as a group, man. And then we had fun doing it at the same time. So, you know, it was great, bro. It was great. It's a bunch of stories, though.
Yeah, for sure. And I know, so on one of the episodes, me and Lawson Schaefer, we was talking about preseason conditioning and how rough it gets. And it was funny. And it was funny because Lawson was talking about he was in the stairwell at Brian. He called his pops, and he told his pops, he said, man, I can go to another school. I can get a normal job. This ain't for me. He said, this ain't for me. Exactly. I said, we'd all had that moment, bro. We'd all had that moment. So it was a fan, man, that was like, it's a fan that watches the show regularly, and he was like, man, wow, that's a great story, great perspective. And he said he would love to hear a football perspective on, you know, what 4 quarters look like and what you guys go through. So share with the people a story or let them know how 4 quarters is and how rough it is, bro.
Man, fourth quarter is rough. Like when
Yeah.
I mean rougher than the rough is just rough. I mean, it's like you never really can get
First
prepared
of
for it.
all, for the people out there, where he said when it's rougher than rough. Like, let's let y'all know it's rough.
That means it's intense, man. That's what it is. But fourth quarter, man, you're not supposed to be prepared for it. They don't want you to be prepared for it.
Right.
They want you to just kind of hit it running. But it just kind of, it's a thing where it's like, oh man, we just got to do a bunch of running and all this other stuff. But it's a mindset. How
Right.
well you have your mindset wrapped up around four quarters, how well you were doing fourth quarter, because it's coming. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna hit. I mean, it ain't going nowhere. It's coming.
Right.
So, but fourth quarter was really intense, man, because we did a lot of stuff. But as a Coach Saban, he would start a lot of the fourth quarters over. If we
Yeah.
weren't doing wall runs right, if we was moving slow, we weren't doing
He
nothing, he would
started them
start the
over.
whole fourth quarter over,
Ooh.
and you'll be out there a whole another hour and 2 hours, however it may be.
Mm.
But the toughest fourth quarter I had was coming off of one of my injuries. I think it was my right Achilles, my second one that I had tore. Coming off of that one, man. No, actually, one my right was my left one. When me and Ken Drake started back spring after he broke his ankle, or he
Yeah.
dislocated his ankle, I tore my Achilles the week after he did. So when we came back that next spring to the 15th season, just now starting back fourth quarter. And as we was running curves at the time, me and Ken was behind, but they made us go with the groups that we were supposed to go with.
Hold on. When y'all was
So
running what? Was y'all was running what?
we was running curves. We was running a
Oh,
thing called
curves. Okay.
curves.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, curves. Well, we had to start on one end, and then you kind of jog to like the next 30 on the other end, and then you just take off all around like a 200-yard,
Mm.
like on the track, like
Yeah.
a 200-yard meter dash.
Yep.
You had to do like a curve. So we was doing the curves, and I'm just not started back running. Drake just started back running, but we like dead last. Like I'm talking about dead last. And he's like, Jeff, why the hell you got these guys out here running? They need to be on the side if they're not ready. So we all out there looking like, dang, coach, like they said we ready, we getting better. Like
Right.
we
Right.
just not starting to run. Like
Yeah.
he thought we was already supposed to be where we were supposed to be. But just that little sense right there, just me coming off of injuries and having to do fourth quarter and having to go through that struggle, man. I mean, it was hard, it was tough.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I had guys around me, man, that was just picking me up, making me go. I know Derrick Henry, when we ran 110s in the summer, man, you try to lean on him. Derrick like, nah, bro, ain't nobody else leaning on me. Stand up.
Yeah.
So, he'll drop his shoulder real hard, man, make you fall and all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
But it just made me understand, like, hey,
Tough love.
okay, yeah, tough love. Get
Right.
up, do what you
Right.
gotta do. You better make it.
Right.
So, just having that little sense, man, and those things from them guys, bro, just always pushing you. Ryan Anderson over there telling Coach Cochran, it's too easy, man. It's too easy. Let's go. Just hearing all those things, man, hearing those guys just go after and get after it makes you want to do the same thing because you're hurting the team if you're not. So,
Right.
man, like I say, fourth quarter, everybody know about it. I
Right.
know a lot of schools do a version of
Facts,
fourth
bro.
quarter,
Facts.
but I'm telling you,
Yeah.
nobody's in detail as Saban, man, as far as their fourth quarter, because he'll start that thing over in a heartbeat. And you'll be out there all day.
I'm already here, and it's crazy because I do hear a lot of coaches trying to implement the four quarters, but I'm like, y'all not doing the same that Saban doing. It's not even close, bro. It's not even close.
Exactly.
So when you
Not
going from
nowhere
high
near
school,
close.
bro, when you going from high school to playing at Bryant-Denny Stadium, how did it feel, and what was it like scoring your first touchdown in Bryant-Denny in front of 100,000, bro? Because I can only imagine.
Man, just all I'm telling you, like, it was a surreal moment, man. All the dedication and stuff that I put behind just to get to that point and just even to get in the chance to get in the end zone,
Right.
it felt great because, I mean, like you said, I was number 3 athlete in the nation. A lot of people thought, I was going to be one of those guys that was going to hear about a lot. But
Right.
my injuries would pull me back, man, and just to see me not give up, just to see me keep going. I know I was an inspiration to a lot of the players on the team, man.
Right.
And when I did score, we supposedly got a flag that game, but it was at the end of the game. We was beating Ole Miss pretty bad, and I finally got in the end zone. And I could just remember just watching, tapes and highlights of it, and just going back and watch film, just seeing everybody like, oh man, Ronnie just scored, man. Like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? So, I was like 6 on the depth chart, man. But we was all good.
You're right,
so,
right.
We was all good, but just to see me get in there and everybody come around me and congratulate me, man, and just, just they know what it took for me to do that, man. They know what I had to do, and they know what I went through. So, just to just to have everybody around me in that moment, man, and have my family, pretty much crying when I scored and going crazy. It felt great, man. Even people back home at Calera was going crazy.
Yeah.
All the people that supported me, my fans was going crazy, man. So it was a good moment and a good feeling for me. And I think everybody was cool with that as well.
Yeah, that's dope, bro, because it's definitely a journey, man, when you're going through that rehab process, bro. Like, the question, you question yourself, the dark space you go through, like, it's crazy. Like trust me, I know what you mean, because when I was overseas.
I took 2 Achilles, bro. 2
We
Achilles,
we go talk about it, bro. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it for sure. For sure. So what was your most memorable moment at Bama that you could share with the people?
Oh, obviously my touchdown would be one of my memorable moments.
Right.
But just I mean, it's so many moments, man, that's memorable. And just to me, I could just think, man, just all of the relationships I have developed, just over time. Because I can't just say one biggest moment. It's just the relationships I developed, us winning those championships, us going through the grind, just us having each other back a lot during that time, man. And the guys that I was able to connect with a lot, over that time and become real brothers with, man, it was always a blessing. But I think when we won that championship, when we beat Clemson that first time, when we beat Clemson, we want to beat them once. But when we beat Clemson that time, man, it felt great because of just knowing all the process we went through to do that, and then just to see that it finally paid off. And that game was just live in general, man. Just but I think that was one of the next biggest moment because we really put the time in that game, man. I had a lot of contribution to that week, that game, even on scout team and stuff. So, it was our job to get those guys ready, and we did a great job of that, throughout the time I was there. I can really say that.
That's dope, bro. That's dope. So I'm gonna ask you this now. So without getting nobody in trouble now, we all grown now. We all, we gotta keep some things, between us. I tell the people all the time, I'm in a Bama fraternity. I can't talk about, certain things,
Exactly.
certain things.
Exactly.
So what's a funny story or a couple of stories, either on or off the field, that you can share with the people that the people don't know about, without getting nobody in trouble, bro? Without getting nobody in trouble.
Okay.
I know it's very limited, but
yeah. Let's see here.
I mean, or you can. I mean, it's on you. The ball is in your hand.
I'm trying to think, man. I'm trying to think of a funny.
There's some guys that said some stuff on here, so it's on you.
I know. So I can say, one time. This is the biggest thing. We used to always have each other back, regardless of wherever we went. Didn't matter what it was, we had each other's back.
I know.
And we used to do a lot of dumb stuff, man.
Right.
As far as having fun and Brian.
I feel like I know you about to go with this, but go ahead. I like how you building it up. I like how you building it.
Yeah. But one good moment of the story I can remember was that I was mad as hell, man, because it was my freshman year. I had just injured myself, and we went to the SEC championship and we played Missouri. And I actually went out there to the game with my parents at the time, but I couldn't travel with the team.
Right.
But I actually went to the game and we was out there and stuff. But after we won the game, man, I remember just looking on Twitter and Kenyon Drake was like, "Hey, party at Brian,"
Yeah.
And I mean, when I was seeing all the videos and all the stuff that they had going on, man, it was people lined up everywhere. The whole Bryant parking lot was full. Man, they had a blast, and I wasn't even there, and I was mad, man. I was mad as hell.
That's crazy.
Like, Mama, can we drive back right now, please, please? All the boys sending me videos. Yo, bro, where you at? So man, that probably
made it worse.
Thing that I know. Everybody that's watching this and the players that's watching this, they can remember and they can relate to the SEC championship party that they had when I wasn't there. Was a blast, man. Everybody, if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody know what I'm talking about. That was the highlight of a couple of my years there, man.
That's great. Right.
Exactly.
That's great. The whole Brown parking lot was packed.
Packed out, man. I mean, if any one of the big guys put it out on Twitter, hey, we outside of Brian, man. We used to have those truck beds laid out, man. Just chilling, man.
Facts.
Enjoying folks, people coming through, man. Just having a good time, enjoying the college life, something at most points. So, yeah.
That's dope, man. That's dope. But like I talk about on all the different episodes, bro, like the three things I like to focus on is to entertain, inspire, and inform the people. So, with us, like, with everybody in general, like everybody in life go through some type of adversity. And I want people, I want the fans and the people that's gonna be watching and listening in on this to see the human side of us. So just like you was talking about with, you tore both your Achilles. So what's some adversity, up until this point that you had to overcome that you could share with the people? I'm pretty sure it's probably
Man,
the Achilles injury, but go ahead.
yeah, but a lot of people may know this, but I've been taking care of my mom and stuff
Mm,
for a pretty good time now, and
mm,
that is a thing that we had to overcome as a family.
yeah.
Kind of accepting what's going on and kind of just keeping her going and keeping her driven at the same time,
Mm,
and throughout that whole process, you know, just like any family, you got a top player in the nation, man. You thinking he's going to the NFL, you thinking,
right.
that everything's gonna be fine in a few years, but my
And
route
provide for
was
your
totally,
family.
totally different. And
Right.
when with me tearing those Achilles, man, after I tore my first one, all I did was just take a step to run, and I tore it. Coach
Mm,
Burns was looking at me like, man, what the hell going on, man? Like, what
yeah.
you doing? Why you falling down? Like, you ain't did nothing.
Right.
So, at that time, I was like, man, hey, man, I feel like something's wrong. And when I tore that one, I came back, I rehabbed real well. I actually came back within 5 to 6 months, and it actually supposed to take a year. So I was
That's
getting back,
crazy.
earlier than what I was supposed to, man, because I was grinding so hard at it. But then just to come back again and get to, to take some special teams, to start on special team, to
Mm,
take some of the second reps on offense and get in the rotation, man, I tore my right. And then
yeah.
it was just devastating for me. I remember like it was yesterday, man. Jeff Allen was in the training room crying together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I knew right then and there that my route in my life was going to be different after these two
Mm,
injuries. And just trying to overcome that hump, man. Still to this day, and I know a lot of the guys can account for this, even while I'm coaching, man, I want to put on pads. I go to practice and
mm.
practice clean because I don't know what's gonna happen if one of these little dudes talk trash, talk smack. I'm
Right.
still out there. I still got it. I still can do it, even though I told my Achilles. I
Right.
still can move around, but it's that hump of just trying to get over the love that you have for that game, man, and just
Mm,
understanding that, hey, I'm watching NFL every day, knowing that I can be out there with those guys and knowing
right.
that I can be doing some of those same things, and you still kind of struggle with that transition of trying to say,
Mm,
hey, now I'm in the real world now, and I got to start doing the little things a little differently.
right.
My football career, is pretty much starting to come to an end, and it's pretty much starting to, come out of the window. But what's next in life for you to do? And
Right.
I think, with me coaching and stuff, is what brings me closer back to the game, makes me still have those same feelings, same aspirations when I get on that field. And I just
Mm,
try to bring that off and rub it off to my players and whoever else I'm coaching. Hell, it don't matter if I'm training you. It don't matter if we, getting working with, different people from anybody. It don't matter.
right.
Whoever I step on the field with and whoever I'm coaching, man, you're going to get the best of me because of that passion and energy that I have towards the game. And I think
Mm,
that's the thing that kind of got me a little bit over that hump of, always wanting to play and always being sick that I didn't get the opportunity because of this and that.
right.
This right here brings another, excitement to the game for me and kind of get me over that hump that I'm able to kind of give back to the kids what I know, what I've learned, and all the experiences that I've learned. So,
Mm,
a lot of people don't keep themselves in reality, man, and you have to. You got to
right.
look yourself in
Facts.
the mirror at times, and those were the most challenging times when I had to do it. In the dorm room, not able to walk for months, my leg just
Mm,
propped up, having to
yeah.
ride a scooter around, get missed by the bus, have people, Crimson Ride keep rolling around and
Right.
it ain't
Facts.
stopping. I'm trying to ride up and catch, man. It was just a whole bunch of struggle. Slipping in the shower when you're trying to take a shower
Right.
after you tore
Yeah.
your Achilles, you can't stand up. So, it was just a lot of stuff, man, that will make you aggravated behind the injury. But at the
Mm,
same time, you thankful for that because that was a tough part of your life and you overcame it. So,
right. And then
pretty
and
good. Yeah.
and then I appreciate you for saying that too, bro. Because the thing is, like, going through those trial tribulations, once you go through it, it makes you a better man, makes you a stronger man. And I know as far with me,
Exactly.
bro, like, I was on the brink. I was playing at the top of my game overseas. I had these
Yeah.
opportunities. I had these opportunities coming up, and then my agent had told me, Coop, just keep doing what you're doing to stay healthy. 2 weeks later, I tore two ligaments in my wrist, and it was two worse ones I
Exactly.
tore in my wrist. So they had to go in, put two pins in, go in and take it out. My wrist was swollen. My left hand was faced to the left, and I'm left-handed. So like
Yeah.
I had to be out for a year, but like I understand what you mean as far like when I had to take a shower, I had to hold my arm outside the shower and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like when it was raining with those pins in my hand, my wrist was throbbing so bad. And then it's crazy, like
Robbing,
we
man.
don't realize like with the body, like I couldn't use my whole left side. So when I came out that cast and they took those pins out and I had to, start moving my wrist again. If I move it just a little bit, it felt like blood was in my nails. Like my whole left side was so weak, I had to build a strength back up in my whole left side because I
Exactly.
wasn't I wasn't using
Exactly.
it. But the thing is, like I
Yeah.
said, I wouldn't change for nothing because like mentally and spiritually, like it made me so much stronger because I had to go through that. And like I tell people all the time, like
Exactly.
especially like the young people, I'm like, if you look around, everybody got a story to tell, just the people who have the courage to tell their story. And like the thing is,
Exactly.
like me and you, we had to go through that so that we can share our story, share our message to the young people, to the people that's gonna be watching this, and not being afraid
Exactly.
to talk about it. Because just like with you, I see a lot of guys out there that I know I can compete with, that I know I'm better than, and that door closed because of that injury. But I know that
Exactly.
God got something a lot bigger for me than just playing the game. You feel me? Because just like with
Yeah.
you too, like
Exactly.
you were saying with coaching, like it's more than just you coaching. Like you're a father figure to these kids, you're a mentor to these kids, and
Yeah.
also speaking and being able to talk about your story to a lot of people. Like that's really like us paying it forward to the next generation because they can see that
Exactly.
and like we carrying ourselves in the right way, and they see that like I talk about all the time with the kids, they're going to get influenced one way or another. So it's our job to influence them in the positive direction. Because thinking
Yeah.
they looking for that guidance, even if they acting like quote unquote bad and stuff like that, they just trying to get somebody's attention. And it's up to
Attention.
us
Yes.
to get these guys' attention because we can get their attention. Then I feel like that's a part of our purpose that God got for me and you just from hearing, some of the stuff he was talking about.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I mean, that's what it's all about, really. I mean,
Facts.
at the end of the day, like you said, it's a generational thing. We got to get the next generation ready and equipped to go.
Facts.
For what we didn't know, for what we didn't have. I mean, they got so many opportunities nowadays through high school, through
Right.
just technology. Period, and its advancements. It just makes it not easier, but it makes it somewhat a smooth slate for these guys. They just have to get it.
Facts.
They just have to know and they have to understand what it takes to get there. And
Right.
that's like you said, that's our biggest thing that we have to do.
Right. And facts, and like I
Yeah,
say all the time, man, I was like, when I was younger, going through this process, like I didn't have nobody I could ask questions to. I didn't have nobody that could be like,
exactly.
no, Coop, uh, think more long term than short term, like as far as like, going and playing in the G League instead of overseas and stuff like that, because the opportunity was there. Like, but my age was telling me, go for the money, then we can always come back type deal. But if I would have had somebody be like, no, Coop, think long term instead of short term, it would been a lot better because the thing is like
Exactly.
just like what you're doing now for the kids is dope. Like with me, every time I see a kid had an opportunity, I try to make sure I pour back into them, pay it forward and stuff like that. But that's why I say
Yeah.
it's our job to prepare them for whatever they want to do in life. If they want to be a doctor,
Yeah.
lawyer, nurse, football player, basketball player, if they want to run their own business, provide them with our resources, our outlets to be able to help them to accomplish whatever they want to accomplish. Because, me and you, yeah, we had people in our life to speak their life in us and belief and stuff like that. But as far as the route we was going, I'm not sure as far with you, but I didn't really have nobody that was like, in the league that can, be that big brother and have their arm around me. Like, yeah, in college and stuff like that, I did, but as far as from a kid, from a legit all the way up, like, I wish I had that. But I did have people that spoke life into me. But like I said, it's our job to make sure we, make that impact and move the needle with the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're right. I had a guy tell me, man. We just had a talk with some of the coaches, and we was always talking about E+R=O.
Mm.
And people be thinking about, man, you write that down. What's E+R=O? But he was talking about, you're gonna have events, all right.
Right.
Events plus response equals outcome.
Mm.
And you're gonna have a bunch of events in your life, and an event could be anything. Like I told my Achilles, that was an event.
Right.
How well did I respond to, or how their response was going to equal that outcome, regardless of what it may be. But you can have a negative response, a positive response, but it's gonna always have an outcome to come out of it. So
Facts.
E+R=O. When the coach talked about that, it sat with me, and I really took hold to that because that's really true. You're gonna have events, and how will you respond to them, or whatever their response is going to be to that event is going
Mm.
to be that outcome, whether it
Outcome.
be bad or whether it be good. And I
Mm.
think if a lot of people start thinking about that, especially in sports terms, especially just in the world in general,
Right.
you're going to have events. How will I respond to that event or whatever thing that happened? However well I respond to it, if I don't respond to it well, I'm going to have a negative or a positive outcome that come out of it.
Mm.
But that's just a simple way, and there's just a small, simple formula that you can use, to kind of like, kind of order and put stuff in place, that you're going through and that having struggles with, just
Right.
understand that whatever event that happened, however I respond to that, whatever that response may be, is gonna give me that outcome, and it may be negative or positive. You want more positive than negative, but you can also learn from those negative outcomes
Facts.
after those events have happened. So, all this stuff that you're doing is just like a learning curve. So, I know there's one thing I can say, man, that I learned, not too recently, man. Just hearing that, and I heard it once before, but I heard it again, and that's when it really set sail with me.
That's dope, bro. And then E+R=O, like that's dope. And then pretty much like if you put all that together, like whether it be a negative or a positive like outcome, it's always come back to perspective. Like if it's a positive
Yeah,
outcome, that's great. How can I build on that? But if it's something negative, okay, what can I learn from that to make myself better so I don't make that same mistake? So, but
exactly.
that's dope, bro. That's dope. So, we about to start wrapping things up, man. But
Okay.
let me ask you this: so, what advice would you give to a young Ronnie Clark that's going to be watching or listening to this? Like either when it first uploads, when it's a year from now, or even 5 years from now, what advice would you give to a young Ronnie Clark?
Man, just to keep going. I mean,
Mm,
don't ever give up. Keep going. I know Devontae Smith said a lot of small kids that think they can't, do it or can't make it, just know that you can keep going, and that's true. I
right.
mean, just like I said, even though I got injured, it's my purpose is not done yet.
Facts.
It's not over
Nowhere
yet. I
close.
still have something to give. Yeah, you still
Yeah.
got something to work. You still got something to push toward. So just keep going, man, and understand that whatever happens, just keep praying, keep your faith, and just keep
Facts.
driving to know that it's good things better to come. You just got to be a believer. You got to have that faith. You got to have a mindset, and you got to have consistency. And I'm gonna keep saying consistency because that's what it's all about. How well
Facts.
consistent I can do something. That's how well I'm gonna be able to make it in life. With anything I do. So just always being yourself, man. Never try to be a follower. I always want to step out and lead.
Mm,
Make yourself comfortable in uncomfortable situations so you can know how to deal with it, so you can know how to deal with certain situations. Think about certain outcomes ahead of time before stuff even happens.
right.
So you can kind of already have your mind kind of geared around how you will handle it.
Mm,
But just being prepared for life and listen to the old guys and listen to the older people, the elderly, and become more wiser as you go through your process, whatever you're doing. Whether it be you want to be the best spelling bee champion, or you want to make that, or you want to make 4.0 in school, or if you want
right.
to, be an underdog All-American, or play on the USA team one day in the Olympics. It's all a process to get to where you got to go. And
Facts.
just never giving up, just never stopping your drive and your goals, man. Just keep going. That's my biggest thing I can give to somebody, man. And I know they'll can account for that.
Dope, bro. And just a quote, just to piggyback off what you're saying, man, for the young people that are gonna be watching this, man. A smart man learn from his own mistakes. A wise man learn from the mistakes of others. So
Exactly.
I'm gonna just leave it out there, bro. So who would you like to see on Locker Room Talk with Coop? Before you answer, whoever name you say you would like to see on the show, you got to help me connect me with that person. So who would you like to see on the show?
Uh, the person I would like to see on here that I think that do good.
That'll
It's a
do
couple people.
good.
It's a couple people. Sean, I want to see Sean Dion on here.
Okay.
Sean Dion. I want to see Anthony Jennings on here,
Okay.
and I want to see if you could possibly get Ryan Anderson. If we can get
Ryan.
Ryan Anderson to
Man,
come
I
on
done
and just
reached
be
out
one
to
of
Ryan, bro. I done reached out to Ryan.
the
He
man.
too big
I'm
time now.
telling you
He
that
too big time.
he too big time.
We were
Hey
texting, bro.
Ryan,
He
look.
probably got busy though. We was texting, but he
Hey
probably got busy. I
Ryan,
give him
look,
the
man.
benefit of the doubt.
We need you on the show, Ryan. We need you on the show.
Thank
Look,
you, bro.
Clark is asking for you to come on the show. So when you see this, you make sure you give my dog a call,
For
man.
sure. For sure. Dope, bro. Dope. So let the people know your social media handles, man, so they can follow your journey. And also for the parents, if they want to get in contact with you, whatever information you want to put out there as far as, your email or something like that, so they can get in
Oh yeah,
contact with you.
definitely,
So,
man. My Instagram is rc1_era.
okay.
Same thing with my Twitter. If you type in Ronnie Clark on my Twitter, it's the same thing. Right now, that's really what I have as far as on that. I have a Facebook as well. Type my name in on Facebook. You can hit me there as well.
Okay.
My email is rlclark .clark5@gmail.com.
Okay.
So if you want to get in contact with me there, to get anything, word of advice, training sessions, whatever it may be, whatever you want to get into,
Mm.
I'm all down for that, man. But just hit my Instagram, hit my Twitter or Facebook, and I'll be sure to respond. Just tell me who you are and we'll get it going.
Dope. And I'm gonna have my intern put it like right up under your screen as far as all the
Okay.
information you just said. Dope, man. So
For
that's
sure, man. For
that's
sure.
another episode of Locker Room Talk with Coop. Make sure you guys like, comment, share this video with somebody I think will enjoy it. And also, man, hit that red button and say subscribe to the channel for your boy. If you're enjoying the episodes and running, bro, I appreciate you for coming on.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Hey, go hit that button, man. Subscribe, man. Hey, peace out, bro.
For sure.